Hi, it's Mr. G here, and today we're going to be going over journal entries. And so, what we've done up to this point is we've used T accounts, and there's nothing really wrong with T accounts. And as you can see here on the right hand side, this is a typical T account for bank, and you would put in the amounts like 100, would be debited, 100 would be debited, and you would be crediting here 50, and you would be putting in those amounts, and then you'd come up with a total. The problem with it is if you had, a few transactions, that works just fine. What happens if you have like 100 transactions and it just keeps going and going, and then you're going back and you're like, I'm trying to find this one transaction, and you're going through all of these and it's like, well, what's this transaction for? And even if you put a number beside it, it becomes very difficult. So T accounts aren't wrong, they're just not the best way of doing it. And so in accounting, we use what we call journal entries, which are the book of original entry. This is how we're basically taking the information that we have in the T accounts, and we're now just putting it into a format that we'll use in accounting. It's more meaningful, it's clearer for people, and you can always understand it. So we're going to be going over some of the formatting. So what's on the right there with that T account, that's the old way of doing it with a T account. We're now going to be looking at doing it over here now with journal entries, and this is similar to what you would have in the way of, for basically entering journal entries. So to start off, we need to put in the date. And so we can start off with the year, 2020. Typically, if you're writing it, you should write it underneath the dates, kind of on that line. But, that's sometimes hard to format electronically. So, if you have just the year up at the top, that would be totally fine. We have here the month. And so we put the month in. And so, let's go with what we have right now. So we'll go with April. Okay, and we'll deal with here the 20th. Okay, so now say I want to put in an entry. Someone is paying back an amount they owed. So our debit in this case is going to be bank. So they're going to be paying us back $100. So we put the bank in here. So that's the name of the account. So we have out here, we put the year, we have the month, we have the date. Here we have the name of the account, and we start off with our debits first. Okay? And people are like, why does it matter? Why can't we just put our credits first? Part of the reason why we do this is to make things clear, and it makes it way clearer if you have the debits all first and then followed by the credits. So that's something you need to make sure you keep doing. PR is PR reference. That's referring to the actual what account number it's going to be. So we're going to give this account number 100. Okay, and then we put in the amount. So we put it in here, and so that's $100. Now I come down here and I go to the next line, and I'm going to put in my credit. And so in this case, I'm going to be putting in accounts receivable, Mr. G. And so if I look at that, and we'll give that the account number 105, okay, and then we go into the credit side, and we put that in. And then for descriptions, we need to put a description at the bottom. And Mr. G paid the amount paid, amount owing to company. Okay, so that's what we have. Mr. G paid amount owing to company. Just a description so that when you're going through all these transactions, you know what it's about. And we'll go more through all of those kinds of things. Now, a few things to note with this. So first of all, this is a credit here. Why is it indented? Did Mr. G just forget and hit the space bar too many times? No. What it is your credits always have to be indented. Why do they have to be indented? It's clarity. So if you have all your debits first, and they're all along the left margin, and then you have your credits underneath, it's very easy to visualize which are your credits, which are your debits, without having to look over on this side over here. Okay, so it is important that you put your debits first. Okay, and so let's go through another example. Now say I have another transaction in April. I'm going to put it as 22nd of April, and I didn't forget to put April. We do not repeat the April. Okay, so this is April 22nd. What if we had another transaction for April 20th? Do we put nothing here because we don't repeat it? No, you always need to put this in. So even if it is April 20th, we need to put that in here. All right. And we'll say for this one that we're going to be paying back an accounts payable. Okay. And we'll pay that to Staples. Okay. So here we go. We have a liability. And so we can put that in. So we'll put that in as 205. Okay. And here we'll just say, keep it easy, keep it at the 100 level. Okay, and now, so that's accounts payable, that's our debit, so it's going down. And in this case, we're going to credit bank, and notice I'm indenting again. Okay, and we said bank is 100, so we're using that as the account number. Okay. All right, and there we go. And then we need a description, paid back Staples amount owed. Okay. And so you can see there we have then another transaction. Once again, debits are first, credits are second. We are indenting our credits, and we're putting them through the transactions. Now, what if we had something that had basically more items than just two? Let's practice something like that. So if we went on the 22nd, and we said in this case that we basically have someone who's paying, we have a sale, okay, and he is paying partly with basically cash, so bank. Okay, so 100. We'll make this 50 or 500. There we go. Got them all in the wrong one here, so we'll make it 50. Okay. And we'll now do another debit, so accounts receivable. And accounts receivable 105. Okay, that's for Mr. G, and we put that in here. Okay, and then now we're putting in the credit as revenue because we made a sale in this particular case. And we're going to put that in as 100. Okay. Made sale to Mr. G. And so in this particular case, what's happening is the fact that part of it, these are both debits, and notice they're both on the left-hand side. All the debits are put first, followed by the credits, which is then indented. Okay? And so this is how we do journal entries and the formatting with it.